Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Dana, and today I want to talk about traveler's notebooks. I belong to a couple of different crafting groups on Facebook, and some of the channels that I follow on YouTube, crafting channels that I follow, have lots of instructions and tutorials on how to make traveler's notebooks. But there's been a lot of comments and questions about, what do you use them for? And so I wanted to just share my traveler's notebooks and what I use them for, because I utilize these 5. And every single one of them is utilized for different purposes. So I thought what I would do is just share with you how I use mine. Maybe that will inspire you, especially if you love making them, which I do. All of these are made by me except for this one. And this one is a leather cover that is a chic sparrow. But I love making them. I love giving them as gifts. But maybe sometimes you don't know what to do with them. So I thought I'd share with you just my processes, what my books are used for. I'm going to save this one for last because this is my planner. This is my daily. Actually, I use several of them daily, but this is the one I utilize most often, so I'll save this one for last. And I'll just move these aside, and I'll show you one by one. So this one is one that is, I followed Dina's tutorial on Crafty Crafts by Dina, and I love this idea. I've made several of these, I've sold some, I've given some away, and this is a traveler's notebook that has an insert for recipes. And so I just wanted to share with you, this is one that I use. I don't have really anything in my pockets, but I basically moved all of my family's favorite recipes into this traveler's notebook. So when anybody's looking for a recipe, lots of people in my house that like to cook, and if they're looking for a family favorite, this is where they know they can find it. So this just has a couple of notebooks. I think there's there's 2 notebooks, a folder, and then an insert that's got page protectors for recipe cards. So this one is used quite often and sits on the shelf in my kitchen. And again, Crafty Crafts by Dina has a tutorial on how to make this. And the size of this one, let me just find my ruler. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Okay, so the size of this one is about 5 1/4 by 7 7 1/2, and that's with the laminated edge. And these will fit perfectly the not the super small composition books, but the other size. Let me pull one really quick so that you can see. They fit this composition book that you can get at Walmart. See if that'll focus. There we go. Okay, so that's a 5 by 7 notebook. And that is exactly what I used for these notebooks in here. Okay, so the recipe one is the first one. The second one is the same size. This was made for me. We did a traveler's notebook swap on Crafty Crafts by Dina, and this was made for me by Carolyn. Thank you, Carolyn. I utilize this. I use it. I love it. And she did a tassel for me. Several paper clips are in here. This is what I use for my crafts. It's how I organize myself. One of my notebooks in here has just ideas. I have some junk journal theme ideas. There's a folder. One notebook holds instructions for the projects I make most that I love. Here is the B6 Traveler's Notebook size, and these are the instructions from Crafty Craft by Dina, because I make several of those. So now I don't have to look up the video each and every time. So I put my gift bows. See, there's the recipe, Traveler's Notebook recipe insert instructions. So things that I make all the time. And then my last notebook is video ideas for YouTube. So this I utilize all the time, and it's a great way to organize crafts and things like that that you make a lot of, that you don't want to continue to look up the video every time you want to make it. Okay, this one I made myself, and this is what I use. This one's kind of a mess. It's got tons of stuff jammed in here. This I used for memory keeping. Let me pull my pen out here. This I use for memory keeping. I have several things in the pocket. Stickers. These are photos that I've printed out that I still have to put in here, that I use my HP Sprocket for. I've got washi tape in here. And I just have, on the bands, I just have cardstock folded in half, fairly plain colors, because I tend to, when I memory keep, just run washi tape, put my pictures down, and journal how they're going to fit. Sometimes I put a little card there. And this is what my memory keeping looks like. I used to be an avid scrapbooker. Now I do it this way. Just over the years, as my kids grew older, and crafting wise, I kind of went in a different direction with a lot of my crafts that I enjoy doing. And I wasn't enjoying scrapbooking as much. So I found myself not really doing any memory keeping. So when I started doing traveler's notebooks, I thought, oh, that would be perfect. And my mom got me one of those little printers for my birthday one year, and this was just perfect for me. So that's how I memory keep now. So this notebook has, see, this is in the back here. I have, I think last year or the year before that I haven't quite finished. I only have like 2 months left. And here's the pictures for that. That's in the back here, along with some stickers, washi tape, little ephemera pieces. And then in here is up front is the more current book. So that's what I use for memory keeping. That's another idea to use your traveler's notebook for. The other one that I've made that was handmade by me, and oh, by the way, this is, I think they call it an A5 size. This is a size that will hold an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper folded in half. So it's going to hold that size of paper for this book, as well as this one. That, I will say, is my favorite size. The ones that I have that are B6 size, I love these. I use them and they serve me extremely well for what I use them for. But as far as real journaling space, I prefer the A5 size. So this is basically my spiritual life, this book is. Again, an A5 size that will hold an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper folded in half. And I have several things in here. Pictures of my family. I've created dashboards with pictures of my family. Just some real encouraging sayings. You are God's masterpiece. He counts the stars and calls them by name. Be on your guard. I've created dashboards for myself that I find encouraging. I keep stickers and washi tape in here. And I have 4 books in here, 4 notebooks. My first one is my prayer journal. My second one is my scripture writing journal, and this is blank right now just because I just put in my next 2 months for August and September, printed my new book for August and September. I just have a calendar. If you want to know more about just the as far as details of how I use this book, what I do in my own spiritual life that keeps me in God's Word every day, what lifts me up and encourages me, I'd be happy to show you what I do and how I use this. Just comment below. I don't want to post content that I don't think people really want to see, but if you're struggling in your prayer life or to stay in God's Word consistently, this really helps me. So just let me know if you'd like me to talk a little more about that. So this is my daily scripture writing notebook. My third, I keep just a blank one in here. These are just, I printed them myself. And this is just blank if I want to take notes. If I'm reading a book, like we do, some nonfiction, maybe a spiritually encouraging book or a biography of the apostles or anything like that, I always like to keep a spare notebook in here that I can just jot down notes or anything that I feel like I want to remember out of that book. And my last notebook that I keep in here is I keep a notebook that I like to express myself creatively. There are so many times that I'm in God's Word where I feel inspired. And this is where I do that in this last notebook. This notebook I made out of mixed media paper. So it will hold markers and inks and stickers and anything I want to put on it. And so these are just some of these things were given to me. Bookmarks, or this little piece here was given to me by somebody. This is just my special place that I do that. This was a poem that my daughter wrote. So I keep just kind of like an art journal for when I'm inspired by something I've read and I want to do something with it. So I keep a notebook in there for that. So that is my spiritual notebook. So that's number 4. And the last one I want to show you is, this is my daily go-to. This is my brain. I am an organized person by heart, and I found Traveler's Notebooks about 3 years ago. And when I was kind of searching for, I had fell out of using my calendar and my planner and things like that because my family had grown up, and the last 20 years of my life, I've been a homeschooling mom. Well, now my kids are grown. My last child is going into high school. Everyone else is grown and graduated. And my life just doesn't look the same anymore. And I found myself not as organized as I used to be. All the little details of things didn't need to be as closely managed as they had been in years past. But I found myself losing just the basic organization of things that I needed to do in my life, because I still have a house to manage. I still have things going on in my life. So I needed to find something that was workable for me. And I ran across some Pinterest posts. I'd never heard of Traveler's Notebooks before. And I started researching them because I liked how I didn't have to buy a new planner every year. I didn't have to stick with the same planner every year. I could customize what I needed in there for myself. And then as the notebook filled out, you just pulled it out and put a new one in. And I loved that idea. So what I use is, this is an A5 Chic Sparrow leather cover that my daughter bought me a couple of years ago for Christmas, and you can see it's well loved, it's nicked, and it holds up just awesome. So inside here I have right now 4 notebooks, a couple of different folders, and about September I will add a 5th notebook because I always add a Christmas planner toward the end of the year. So the last few months of the year, I do have 5 notebooks in here. So it's got pockets here, and I've just got like post-it notes and, you know, little things like that in the pockets. I have dashboards in here with pictures of my family because they are the most important things to me, and my puppies. And the first notebook is the notebook I utilize. I run the women's ministry at my church. And so this is what I use to keep myself organized for events, anything that we have going on that we're planning for that. So that's my first notebook. Then I have this folder that really needs to be replaced because it is falling apart, and it's just got several different pockets here. One is coupons. My second notebook is my menu planner. And this is also how, when I make my inserts, because I do make all of my own inserts, this is how I utilize the papers that I have in my stash and my paper pads that are not my favorites, because you really don't see the covers much as you're utilizing your traveler's notebooks. And so I use these, you know, the ones that are 12 by 12 that have this big print on them of a saying. I don't use those for anything. And so I utilize them here as kind of a harder cover for my notebooks, because this is my menu planner. So when I go to the store every week, I pull this out and I take it with me because it's got my grocery list in it. So this is the menu planner that I designed for myself, and it's got my grocery lists here and my menu plan here. And so when I do my menu plan every week, I pull this out and take it to the kitchen, and I know what I need for each of the meals, and I start making my grocery list of things. What do I need, what I don't have in my kitchen, whatever, those kinds of things. And then in the front of it, and I've done this for years and years, I have 5 kids, so when they were little, organization was just a key. I have a rotating menu plan, 4 weeks of menu plan. And basically this is a month's worth. And so I just rotate it every month. We go back through it. So whatever week I'm on, I just transfer these meals onto the menu plan for that day. So my second notebook is my menu plan. Other side of that folder, I've got my Sam's Club shopping lists in here. My third folder, I have a folder that wraps around this third notebook. This is my actual planner. So I have stickers in the folder on both sides because I don't like my pages to be blank. But this is my, I love this movie so much. So he sits, Totoro sits on my front page of my planner always. So this is my planner page. I designed this specifically for myself, for things that, daily tasks that I need to make sure my daughter takes her meds and things like that, important things. And then the right side is I'll mark appointments that I have or anything that I need to get done that particular day. So this is my daily planner. And like I said, the stickers, after I usually will sit on Sunday and plan. You see it sitting right there. I'll plan the next week and fill my week in, leaving space to add things. And then I'll add stickers or washi on it, just because if I'm going to look at something every day, I want it to be cute. And this is just a little insert I have, plastic. It's got pockets, and I've got washi tape and stuff here. And then my last notebook is just my, you could call it a brain dump. I have lists of books, projects, TV and movies that I want to do. So these are shows that I want to watch. These are projects that I want to do, books that I'd like to read. And then under miscellaneous, I have things like, here's a wish list. This was last Christmas projects that I wanted to do. I was planning a party for my daughter, things I wanted to buy at Dollar Tree for Christmas projects. I have lists of friends' birthdays, just things like that. That all goes in here, and I use grid paper for that because I like to do check-off boxes. And then I have the other side of this is a little zipper pocket that I keep paper clips and things like that in. And I keep a little ruler in here. You can't see it because it kind of blends in, but I have a little plastic ruler in there for when I do my checklists. I want to make straight lines. I'm particular that way. I'll use my ruler if I'm doing a new list. So that is what I use for traveler's notebooks. Again, I utilize 5 different traveler's notebooks for all kinds of different things. And I hope this helped somebody. I know there are tons of questions that I know I've personally answered of how I use mine. People love to make them. They just don't know what to do with them. So if you'd like a little more in-depth look at any of these, if you'd like to see, like I said, about how I kind of do things in my spiritual notebook, or even how I do things in my daily planner, comment below. I'd be more than happy to make just a more detailed video explaining more of those things. And I hope this helped you. So if you have any questions, please just comment below. I'd be more than happy to answer them. And as always, have a wonderful day and God bless.